Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. What have we been hearing this past week with the conflict going on in the Middle East? Few keywords: people, regime change, yeah, and of course, Trump wanted to put somebody in place in that regime change similar to what he did in Venezuela. Let me explain you why I think things are not okay. Okay, especially with Venezuela. Yeah, and I'm going to be talking about what is going on in the Middle East, although it's extremely sad to see that the Gulf nations like Qatar, that I lived there many years, have been attacked they've been dragging into this conflict for no reason at all. And fortunate that the armed forces in Qatar have been able to repel all the attacks, which is extremely good to keep the people safe over there. Yeah. What happened? Back in 2024, there was the general election in Venezuela. And of course, many of you may know Maria Corina Machado. She won the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. She was barred from running as a candidate, okay, by the regime at that time with Nicolas Maduro. Edmundo Gonzalez became the candidate, and Maria Corina Machado, was the face of the opposition, yeah, supporting obviously Edmundo Gonzalez. Yeah. They won according to independent organizations. They won by a landslide. Yeah, something like 64%. Of course, Maduro regime did not accept the results and stay into power. So then Donald Trump obviously became president in 2025. Yeah, assumed the presidency of the United States. And one of the things that he wanted to target obviously was Venezuela in particular, because as we all know, there was a narco regime. Yeah. And so forth. Then right away, the Trump administration designated, especially in Venezuela, was a narco state and was a foreign terrorist organization, especially the government, because they were dealing with was a narco regime, especially dealing with the so-called famous Cartel de los Soles or Cartel of the Suns. Okay, what was the rationale of Trump moving all these warships into the coast of Venezuela? Yeah, towards August last year, 2025. It was obviously, as we all know, yeah, the goal was, to couple the narco regime, yeah, that was sending drugs, through Colombia into Venezuela and to the U.S. and other countries, yeah. And as well, as we all know, like any other conflict, they want to secure the oil resources and the other resources, because Venezuela is rich in minerals, gold, name it, yeah. And lastly, the so-called famous words that we hear in regime change. Okay, we have been hearing, during the time that the forces were, being put together in the coast of Venezuela, the the famous word, the people of Venezuela suffering, and it's true, the people of Venezuela suffering, yeah. And a lot of people had to migrate, like I said in my previous video, go all the way through South America and try to cross into the United States. But what I see is that, they use the word people as a pretext, trying to invade a country, yeah, as an excuse. It's okay if you want to do it. It's okay you want to, you topple the narco regime. Great, was a great thing to do. But don't, at the end of the day, don't do things by half. You're gonna do it the right way. correct? So as soon as Trump captured Maduro, yeah, in January this year, and took him, extradited him to Venezuela, the reasonable thing was that, according to the Constitution, um, in the absence of the president, then the Assembly takes power by the Supreme Court, which, by the way, they all, in favor of the regime because they are appointed there, name the vice president. Okay, and because the President Nicolas Maduro was taken by a foreign force. It is called in the Constitution of Venezuela like is a temporary absence. And therefore now Delcy Rodriguez, who was the vice president, was appointed as the interim president of Venezuela. And that can go on for 90 days and can be extended. Now, she has no interest at all, okay, to call for elections. And like Trump say, well, she is there following, as long as she follows his agenda, yeah, everything is okay. Now, what I find so ironic is that Trump initially went into Venezuela to capture Maduro as the head of the cartel of the Suns. And together with that, there were two figures in the Venezuelan government that they were also had a bounty on the head. And that is Diosdado Cabello and Padrino Lopez. Diosdado Cabello is the Minister of Interior and Padrino Lopez, the Minister of Defense. After all this, and until now, these two figures, which has a bounty because of narco trafficking, they're still part of the government. Yeah. And if I can read you here, yeah. The State Department or the United States government offers the reward, okay, for Diosdado Cabello, $25 million for information leading to his arrest and conviction. But the United States government perfectly knows these people are there in power. Yeah, with the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, yeah, being there. So they don't care. Okay, as long as Delcy Rodriguez follows his instructions and give him access to the oil and the resources that Venezuela has, he's happy to turn around blind, don't see it. Okay? Anyone that provides information leading to his arrest, they are part of the government currently, yeah, as we speak now. What, March 14, yeah, 2026. Funny, yeah. Then we saw that obviously as soon as they got rid of Maduro and Delcy was put into power, we saw that he had a big conference in the White House with oil and gas executive. They need to go into Venezuela and invest in the infrastructure, and that is fine. The problem here is that we have the same regime in place that has been in place for the last 30 years, making the people suffer, dying of hunger, not being able to access basic services because the country has just gone down to hell. And then you got these oil and gas companies signing deals with a Venezuelan government in place where two of the ministers has a bounty on their head for narco trafficking. So the question is, how far is the moral, the ethical rights goes not only with the U.S. government, but with these companies that go into Venezuela knowing with what type of regime they're dealing with. And still, at the end of the day, these governments, they don't care about anything. People are still suffering. correct? So it's all about what? Oil, resources, and not the people. Okay? Thanks very much for watching. And if you like, do a like if you like my video, put some comments, and thank you very much.